There are certain songs that you would assume went to the top 10 on the Billboard charts. They've been played on the radio for 50 years. Everybody knows them, and they're really almost a part of American culture. But here's the crazy part. None of the 10 songs I'm about to show you ever reached number 1, and some of them didn't even make the top 10. I'm Glenn Campbell, and today we're going to go back to 1977 and have a look at 10 songs that never made number 1. And trust me, there's a couple on this list that may surprise you. We start with a song that sounds like it should have been a number 1 record. The Things We Do for Love became one of 10cc's biggest hits, and it climbed to number 5 on the Billboard charts.
Too many broken hearts have fallen in the river.
Number 5 is certainly nothing to complain about. But here's what's interesting. Today it's one of those songs that seem to survive the 70s better than records that did actually hit number 1.
The things we do for love. The things we do for love.
Sometimes chart position and longevity are two different things. At number 9 we have the Steve Miller Band. Jet Airliner was released in 1977 and became a huge classic rock staple. But on the Billboard Hot 100, only made number 8. There's also a great piece of trivia behind this one. The song was actually written by Paul Penna, and the version played on the AM radio had to change one particular word in the lyrics to make it acceptable for broadcast. So even back in 1977, radio edits was definitely a thing. And still, after all these years of classic rock airplay, Jet Airliner never got past number 8. Next up is ELO. Telephone Line spent an incredible 23 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. Longer than any other ELO song, and yet its highest position? Number 7. Jeff Lynne even went so far as to use an American-style telephone ring at the beginning of the song because the United States had become such a market for the band. The song became ELO's first U.S. single to earn gold status, but number 1 never happened. 1977 was a monster year for Foreigner. Their first album arrived, and suddenly there was a brand new band with songs all over the radio. One of the biggest was Cold as Ice. Surely that one went to number 1, right? Nope. It peaked at number 6. And believe it or not, that's not even the highest charting Foreigner song we're going to talk about. We'll get to that in a minute. Now here's one that surprised me.
Carry on my wayward son.
Carry On Wayward Son. This thing feels like the definition of classic rock. It remains a staple of rock radio almost 50 years later. But when it made its big chart run in 1977, it peaked at number 11. It didn't even crack the Billboard Top 10. The song originally appeared on Kansas's Leftoverture album, and radio programmers loved it so much that even some stations played the longer album version rather than the shortened single edit. Imagine having a song that radio stations are playing decades later and it didn't even make the top 10. Number 5 became more than just a hit song. It became a lifestyle.
Wasting away again in Margaritaville.
Restaurants, resorts, merchandise, an army of devoted parrot heads. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville is probably one of the most recognizable songs of the 1970s. How high did it go? Number 8. That's it. It did reach number 1 on Billboard's easy listening chart, but on the main Hot 100, it stopped at number 8. The funny part is that the cultural impact ended up being dramatically bigger than its original chart position. I'd say Jimmy did okay with that number 8 record. Remember when I told you Foreigner was coming back? Well, here it is.
Feels like the first time.
Their very first single, Feels Like the First Time, came charging into American radio in 1977. It reached number 4, and this was their debut single. Imagine starting a new band and your first single reaches the top of the Billboard chart. It was written by guitarist Mick Jones while he was putting together the group that would eventually become Foreigner. Lou Gramm sang it during the audition for the band. I'd say that audition worked out pretty well. Now we're getting into the ones I really can't believe.
Barracuda.
Heart's Barracuda. That opening guitar riff is instantly recognizable. Ann Wilson's vocal is unmistakable. It's become one of the band's signature songs. And where did it peak? Number 11. That's right. Barracuda never made it into the top 10. The song was released in 1977 from the Heart's Little Queen album and grew out of the Wilson sisters' anger over an offensive rumor involving the band. They basically took that anger and turned it into one of the greatest hard rock records of the decade. Number 11 on the chart. Nearly 50 years later, people are still playing it. Next, we've reached Fleetwood Mac.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
There are several songs from Rumors that we could talk about. Dreams actually did reach number 1, but Don't Stop didn't. Christine McVie wrote the song and Lindsey Buckingham and Christine shared the vocals. It went all the way to number 3. It came incredibly close, but it never made the final jump to number 1. The amazing thing is that Rumors became one of the most successful albums in music history, yet some of its most recognizable songs never even made the top of the charts. Which brings us to number 1. If there's a song on this list that seems like it should be an automatic number 1, this one is it.
You can go your own way.
Go Your Own Way. One of Fleetwood Mac's signature songs, one of Lindsey Buckingham's defining performances, one of the cornerstones of the Rumors album. Its Billboard Hot 100 peak, number 10. It reached the top 10 and stopped right there. The song was released ahead of Rumors and helped set the stage for the album becoming an absolute phenomenon in 1977. And here's another great piece of trivia. A Los Angeles radio DJ reportedly didn't understand the unusual rhythm the first time he played it, prompting Lindsey Buckingham to call the station and ask what he didn't like about the song. Eventually, millions of listeners figured out the beat just fine. And that's why Go Your Own Way gets my number 1 spot for songs that never hit number 1 on the Billboard charts. So which one surprised you the most? For me, it's probably a toss-up between Barracuda, Carry On Wayward Son, and Go Your Own Way. And I guarantee there are more. If you enjoyed this one, let me know in the comments. We could do 1978 next, or we could go backwards and do 1976. And if classic rock and the stories behind the songs are your kind of thing, give me a subscribe and stick around. Because good music never gets old. I'm Glenn Campbell, and I'll see you on the next one.